manufactured products for more than 100 different companies. Many of those companies are network marketing companies. And I have been around the world talking about natural ingredients, natural products. And so it really is my passion and the thing that I love. I owned my own manufacturing business that made a lot of great products. And I sold that business about 5 years ago. And as part of the sale of that company, I took a job with the acquiring company that was a specialist in raw materials. So I really had took a turn in my career, but it was fantastic. I worked for 20 years in contract manufacturing. Then I got to work for about 4 years just in raw material processing and the sale of raw materials. And what I was able to learn from that, so I knew a lot about ingredients that worked because I would create a product and I would see the results. I'd go to meetings like this, I would speak, and I could see anecdotally what really worked for people. But it was really, my big education was on the raw material side of the business, because I saw how far behind the marketplace is. The marketplace has tried to force feed consumers ideas about products, food products. And those huge food companies didn't understand dietary supplements at all, or the kind of natural, raw, whole grain, organic movement that's built up over the last 20 years. And so it was fascinating for me, focused on healthy raw materials, to be meeting with huge billion-dollar food companies who really didn't know why consumers didn't like their products anymore. And so all of my business related to my company and the raw material job that I had ended in 2018. And I had two very good friends in the industry. One was a recent friend, Lamia Bettaieb from Dubai. We met about 3 years ago. And every time she would come to America, she would frequently stop in Dallas to visit her brother, who was me. And she had company after company trying to recruit her as their master distributor. And every time she'd meet with me, she would say, you know, Mark, we should have a company. We should have a company. And then I had another very good friend, Nauder Khazan, from California. Nauder had been a customer of mine for almost 12 years. Just a super, super individual. Nauder was the one customer that I had that always cared more about me than he cared about our business relationship. And at the time, Lamia had been talking to me about this. That's the month Lamia started to have that inner voice speak to her was the month Nauder started talking to me a bunch. And I came up with the idea, let's get Nauder, Lamia, and me together. And we got together the end of July and early August of 2018. And that's where the idea of Globallee was hatched. And so we're very grateful to everybody who's been involved in the business. They're still trying to force feed a marketing story to the consumers. And I think what I learned with my career in the raw material space is that consumers don't want to be force-fed anything. They want to be a part of the process. And so when Lamia talks about what's in her heart and building a company like this, and I know what my passion is about products, it's building products like this. Because it all starts, from my perspective, with happy customers. If you have happy customers, then you can have a business. Yeah. So how do we get happy customers? We have to have great products. And all great products start with great ingredients. We are at the forefront of what is called the wellness economy. I'm going to step out here so I can see what slides I have, since I kind of forgot about that. Thank you. Oh, is this my... Okay. They've been signaling me. Okay, there we go. So we are in what's called the wellness economy. It is a huge business. I know we have a lot of doctors that are here in the audience today, and they have seen the same thing that I've seen. People are spending trillions of dollars in this economy all over the world. Look at some of these numbers. Wellness tourism. Over $600 billion is spent every year for people who are traveling for something related to wellness. Maybe it's going to visit some sort of a therapy spa in Hungary, or maybe it's going to some sort of a clinic in Thailand. People spend a lot of money traveling for wellness. Look at the healthy eating, nutrition, and weight loss. Over $700 billion. Accomplish it through happy customers. So we feel like we as a company, our job is to deliver great products. How do we deliver great products? We rely on a lot of my 25-year experience on what are the best natural ingredients in the world. But it also depends on me working closely with you, the leadership of the company, because you know a lot about these things too. You've been in the same type of industry for a long time. You have a lot of information. And so I believe just as strongly as Lamia believes in dreaming together and achieving that dream together, I believe the same thing in product development. And that's how we get happy customers. And I can't even tell you, the products that we have, I think really do deliver on that. So you as an independent brand ambassador, take these brands from the company and you introduce them to customers. And only if the products are great will it be a good experience. So we have to pay lots of attention to those ingredients, because if you use the best ingredients, you can create the best products. And if you create great products, then customers, for the most part, will be happy. And so the best raw materials make the best products make happy customers. Let's talk about the first product. Why did we roll out Taka as the first product? It's because I am a big believer in the functional beverage industry. There are more than 1 billion people every single day who wake up and spend money on something that they drink that either gives them energy, picks them up, gives them mental clarity, gives them a little shot to their immune system. There are 100 different types of these products, but the functional beverage industry is massive, and it's full of real connectivity. When somebody drinks something, there's a connection that they have to that product. And so the more people that you can get to drink Taka, the better off you're going to be as somebody building a business, because there's a strong consumer connection there. So the total beverage market, 1.9 trillion by 2021. That's, I referenced where I have that data. And the functional beverages is one subcategory in the total beverage market that is growing by double digits every year. So it is a huge business. At the center of the healthy eating and nutrition economy, 602 billion, functional beverages are right at the center of that. 1.5 to 2 billion people every day purchase some sort of a functional beverage, and this does include tea and coffee. But it is a massive amount of people who purchase these things. And things such as clean label is so important to brands. And, you know, it used to be that the brand controlled the marketplace. I worked with this fantastic guy for years and years, and he was a super salesman back in the 70s and controlled all the Velveeta sales in Texas. And he said Velveeta was so powerful that he could go to a grocery store, and if he wanted to introduce a new product, the grocery store had to say yes, or he wouldn't sell him Velveeta for that week. And so the grocery store was like the brand, that national food company had all the power. And then the whole market shifted to where instead of the national brand having the power, the store had the power. So stores like Walmart started to tell the national brands what to do, instead of the national brand telling the store what to do. And then something else happened that nobody could foresee. the customer started to tell the store what to do. Because now, more than ever before, consumers pick up products and they look at the ingredients and they make their buying decision based on the ingredients, not on the national brand or the brand recognition. It's a huge shift with billions and billions of revenue at stake, and most of the huge food companies are just beginning to understand what has happened. And so I look at it and I say, the same thing has happened in the MLM industry. The traditional model is somebody that's a manufacturer goes and pitches the MLM on an idea, the MLM says yes to it, then they hire a doctor, pay him $5,000 to get up on stage and give a little talk, and then the distributors are kind of force-fed that idea. And I feel like there is a shakeup in the MLM industry that is as profound as the shakeup in the grocery industry and the traditional national brand industry. And I feel like we're at the same crossroads. Billions and billions in revenue is at stake because we are going to be the one company that connects with consumers through transparency, through clean label, through connecting, letting our emeralds and our sapphires be involved in product development. And I just want you to kind of understand, you know, my passion for that. I've been in this industry for 25 years, and to me, trends are fascinating. But we are at the same inflection point in this consumer involvement, consumer education, the consumer being a part of the process. We are at the same beginning of that inflection point as companies were 30 years ago when they started talking about baby boomers. And there were many billion-dollar companies built on the concept of baby boomers.
Yeah.
And we are at that same inflection point. It's like right here, and it's going to go like this. And that is going to destroy almost all large food conglomerates. And it's also going to destroy companies that are still trying to force feed some sort of a sizzle marketing idea that doesn't have a lot of substance behind it. And so that's how we want to be different.
Love it.
Now, I told you, Leslie, I'll try and visit the booths tonight, and then I can talk endlessly about it. Eternal. Let me just take a minute and talk about Eternal, because Eternal has really been a life changer for me. As you know, I love functional beverages. I love health drinks. I've created many of them. I've probably created over 100 health drinks in my career. And I truly love that industry. But I have never created a product that fundamentally changed how the cells in my body feel as Eternal. It completely changed how I feel. And remember, many of you who are here with us knew it took me 5 months to get this product out. And when we finally got this key ingredient we'd been waiting on for 3 months, and we blended it up and we made the first Eternal, I was the person who took it. Nobody else in the company took Eternal before me. And I took it for a whole week because I'm like, I have got to try this. I mean, I had not made a product like this for 14 years, and I wanted to darn sure try it myself before I told it to anybody. So I took it for a week, and some of you remember that call that I did. It was unbelievable for me. I kept a journal. Day one, I slept deeply, but I woke up. My mind seemed to be awake, but my body was kind of groggy. And then I felt okay after about an hour, but I didn't work out that day. Day two, same thing, deep sleep, woke up, mind awake, body slightly groggy, and then I went to work out. And at the end of that workout, I felt like Superman. And that Superman feeling has stayed with me till today. So when I take Eternal at night and I work out in the morning, I feel like I am 20 years younger. So I know we've had reports back from some people where they've shown from their blood work that it's increased their GH. I love that kind of stuff, but I am much more interested in how I feel when I take a product. And I've taken so many products, I'm observant about that. And I love this product. I believe that even if only 1 out of 4 men feel like I feel when they take this, we are going to sell millions and millions of bottles of Eterno. I feel fantastic. In fact, who was it that came into the office about 3 weeks after I started taking Eterno? And they were like, just said, you look like you've completely changed. And I said, I feel like I've completely changed. Eterno works through 3 principles. And it's, to me, very different. I've not seen a product in the marketplace like this. Everybody knows that between the age of 20 and 30, your growth hormone starts to decline, your natural production of growth hormone. What I've always thought, and when I worked in this space 14 years ago, I thought was, if it's a decline, then it is almost always related to a lack of production. But what I learned in that 5-6 month time period of getting ready to launch Eterno is that there is as much science about production of GH as there is about suppression of GH. And so it's important for you to understand this, especially practitioners that are here, that Eterno has 3 types of ingredients. First, it has primarily amino acids that support production. They are natural amino acids. They're not overdose of amino acids. It's a modest but healthy amount of amino acids. That supports production. But as important, or more important, is that it has key minerals, the zinc and the magnesium and the vitamin B6, that have clinical studies showing that those ingredients decrease the suppression when your body releases GH into the bloodstream. And that's because it decreases something that accumulates as we grow older, called 5-alpha reductase. So first, it has ingredients that support the production. Second, it has ingredients that reduce the suppression. And I believe that's where the amazing benefits of Eterno are coming from. Like, it's carrying 60% of the load of the results of the product. And third, it has ingredients that support a deep, restful sleep. And so that is like a 3-pronged approach to tackling the issues of growth hormone decline. And I think it's the 3-pronged approach that are creating these phenomenal results. But I will tell you, I have made somewhere in the neighborhood of 700 products in my career. I have never made a product that made the cells in my body feel as different from 1 month to the next as this product right here. So I am completely in love with